Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we are here to talk about our fun and recreation goals. This video is part of a series where I am sharing action step ideas for a variety of different goals. If you did not catch last week's video, I gave a little bit more background information about the origin of these videos as well as where the categories came from. So go check out that video if you haven't had a chance yet. It was all about personal development and growth. And this week we are talking about fun and recreation. So in this video, I'm going to give you some action step ideas on how to include more fun and recreation, which may feel like a silly goal. Like, I just don't have a better word. It may feel like, why am I setting a goal to have more fun? It is so hard for us to prioritize just having fun or doing things just because we want to. Especially when it comes to goals, we feel like all of our goals need to be difficult and hard and things that we should be doing or things that we have to do instead of just things that we want to do. So I am going to share with you some ideas for fun and recreation, some questions to ask yourself, a book recommendation, and then I will wrap it up at the end with a general action step idea on how to generate more ideas that you can apply to any goal category. So let's jump into the ideas. Just like last week, this is going to be a category or a topic type of goal that is going to be really specific to you. So there might be things I say in this video that you're like, that would not be fun for me, then that's not the action step for you. These are going to be general ideas, things to maybe also get your ideas flowing. Like, you might hear something and be like, that specifically wouldn't be fun for me, but if I tweaked it just a little bit, then that sounds like fun. So let's jump into it. The first one I have on here is really, maybe it's just me, is to have a dance party. I feel like this is one of those easy ones to implement more fun into your life, especially if you have other people that you live with. Bring them into this. Put on a song that makes you just want to get up and move and just dance around. I really feel inspired by the Grey's Anatomy. If you are a Grey's Anatomy fan, also, if like me, you're still watching at this point, I got you. But one of the things they would always do is say, we just need to dance it out. And I think that that is just an easy way to add in some quick fun into your life. The next one on here is to plan a vacation. And what I think really sometimes holds us back is we think that our action steps need to be immediate, need to be something that we're gonna see the fruits of our labor, or we're gonna see the benefits from it right away. And sometimes we just can't get that immediate satisfaction. And I think planning a vacation is one of those things. If you like to travel, or even if you don't, vacations don't have to be these big extravagant things. It could be a one-night stay at a little cottage 30 minutes outside of whatever town that you live in. Sometimes just changing up your scenery and where you are currently located can do wonders for your mental health and really, I think, provide an element of fun. So spending time planning a vacation is a great action step to incorporating more fun into your life. The next one is going to depend on what kind of person you are, but I love to play games. My whole family loves to play games. So playing a board game is one of those, for me, easy ways to implement fun without having to do a whole lot of additional planning. And I think sometimes we might overcomplicate it a little bit and think that it needs to be this like, and by we, I mean, I do this, it needs to be this like whole game night, right? Like even me and my husband, like I need to plan like, okay, this is the night we're gonna sit and we're gonna play all these board games that we have. Why does it have to be so complicated? Why can't it just be like, oh, it's a random night and I really, like, we don't have any plans and there's nothing on TV that we wanna watch? Let's play a game. The next idea I have is to go to the movies. I actually forgot until recently, because it had been so long since we were able to go to the movies, how much I like going to the movies. And this one can be tweaked whether you are an introvert or an extrovert. If you're an introvert, go alone. Go to the movies by yourself. I have done that a number of times and I am an extrovert, but I love going to the movies by myself. I get to pick what time works for me. I get to pick whatever seat I want and I just get to sit there and enjoy the movie. Or if you're an extrovert, make plans to go to the movies with friends and then do something afterwards. Talk about the movie that you just saw. I feel like we always try to do it the other way around where we like go to dinner and then go to the movies. I think it's way more fun to do it the other way around. Along the same lines of getting out of the house and doing something, go do something fun that's pampering. Massage, mani-pedi, facial, whatever it is that you feel like is fun, do that. Now, if you're like me and you have super ticklish feet, getting a pedicure might not really qualify as fun. But instead of always waiting for a special occasion, maybe for your next birthday or holiday, ask for a gift certificate to your favorite place. That's what I did for my birthday. I asked for a gift certificate to my favorite facial place because it's hard for me to justify doing it regularly, but it is so much fun for me. The next one is also really going to depend on if you enjoy this or not, but if you are here, my guess is you lean more towards the yes, which is doing some sort of craft. I also always felt like I had to make this a big ordeal. It had to be like, I had to have all the right supplies. It had to be really well thought out. When was the last time I just like did something crafty just for fun? Like, it didn't need to be saved for forever. It didn't need to be the most perfect thing that I was gonna display. Like, it was literally just for fun. And how could I incorporate more of that? The next one on my list is to cook or bake something, again, for fun. How many of us spend our time in the kitchen cooking because we have to, because we need to get food on the table for ourselves or the people in our families? What if we just cook something because I really wanted to make that thing? What if I just baked something because I really wanted to eat whatever it was, right? Something that we do all the time, we can forget to utilize that as an action step for another type of goal. But if you find cooking or baking fun, that's a great option. The next one on my list is similar to what we talked about last week, which is to just take a class. But what I want to caveat it with this week is for fun. Taking a class just because you find it fun. It reminds me of that Friends episode where Monica's credit card gets stolen and the person who stole it is taking a tap class just for fun, and is like, you don't have to be good. You don't have to be the best. You can take a class just for fun. So is there something that you've always wanted to do? It's okay to just go do it, even if you're going to be the worst person in the class. If the goal, which is what we're talking about here, is just to have more fun, then what would that be for you? What would a class that was focused purely on fun be for you? The next one is another one of those get out of the house ideas, and that's to go to one of those trampoline places. Have you ever been to one of those places that it is just like all the trampolines and you just like jump around? It is so much fun. I have never left one of those places without a massive smile on my face. And the last one on my list is also getting out of the house, and that is to be a tourist in your own city. And what I want you to think about here is, what do you like to do when you travel to other places? And I got this idea a little bit from The Lazy Genius, who, that book is not gonna be in any of these videos as a recommendation, but y'all know I love that book if you haven't read it, The Lazy Genius Way. She talks about how she does the same things, or likes to do some of the same things whenever she's in a new city. And one of those things is to visit a bookstore, and another one is to go get a local cup of coffee. And I took that from her, and now that is one of the things that I like to do when I travel. I always try to go find a local coffee shop, and if they're known for their coffee, like when we were in Oregon, I went to a different coffee shop every day to try all these different types of local coffee. Why can't I do that here in New York? There are so many adorable local coffee shops here in New York that I don't go out and just sit and have a cup of coffee with my book for fun. So being a tourist in your own city, what is it that you like to do in other cities, and can you do that in your own city? Now, if you live in a small town, this one might not apply to you. What's maybe a nearby big city that you don't think of as going to visit because it is so close? How can you take what you love to do when you travel and apply it right here at home? All right, let's move into the questions to ask yourself to help you come up with ideas that will be more specific to you and what you like to do for fun. So the first one is just that. It's very simple. It's, what did I do for fun when I was little? Now, there are going to be things that you did when you were little that you can no longer do. I can't just like ride around the neighborhood on my bike with my neighbors. I mean, I guess I could get a bike and hang out with my neighbors, but it would not be the same as when I was little. But recently, well, last fall, before I injured myself, I started rollerblading again because that was something that I liked to do for fun when I was little. What did you like to do for fun when you were little, and how can you implement that into your life now? Similarly, another question that I want you to ask yourself is, what makes you smile? When you have this big smile on your face, what were you doing when that happened? That is a great action idea of something to do for fun. Another question I like to ask myself in this category is, if I had a day off with no limitations, how would I spend that day? What would I do? Now, obviously life has limitations. You can't just like teleport your way to another country. You may not be able to buy Broadway show tickets every single day, but if you had a day off with no limitations, how would you spend that? How can you turn those ideas into action steps for your goals? Another great question for this category is, what takes my mind off of things? When I think of the value and the importance of implementing more fun and recreation into my life, it is a stress reliever. It is a way for me to stop thinking about all the other things I have going on in my life and just have fun. So what are those things? What are those activities that when you're doing those things, you're not thinking about your to-do list. You're not thinking about all the other things that you have going on. What is it that takes your mind off of other things? And then the last question for this category is similar to one I shared last week, but I want you to think about it with the fun mindset. Thinking about fun is, when am I the most happy? When am I the happiest version of myself, and how can I do more of that? All right, the book recommendation for this week is about fun, and it is called That Sounds Fun by Annie Downs. Is this the best book I've ever read in my entire life? No. But I do think that this book has a lot of great stories and ideas that will just get you thinking about what fun means to you. And the other really important piece of this book that I think is really valuable when it comes to this category is being an amateur, especially if you're somebody, maybe like me, who can be a little bit competitive, who always wants to be doing something where they are really good at it. I am not good at being an amateur. I'm not good at being new at things, but sometimes that is the best way to have fun, is to be an amateur. And that is something that I really took away from reading that book. So if you feel like that's something that you struggle with, highly recommend that book. And our general idea tip for this week is that action will create more ideas. Sometimes with goals, especially ones like this, I can come up with like one thing. I can come up with one idea. But then once I act on that idea and I do it once, it sparks another idea and another idea. So instead of pressuring yourself to come up with a bunch of action steps, and this applies to this type of goal and any other type of goal, come up with one. Come up with one great action step that applies to you and your goal, and do that. And then once you do that action step, you will be surprised at how many more ideas will come from that. I believe it is a much better use of your time to take action on that one idea and let that spur more ideas than sit there and try and come up with however many ideas for that particular goal. I hope that you found this video helpful. We still have 2 more categories coming up in the next 2 weeks. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. Mindset, that was weird. Never mind.